Good morning. Welcome to Core of the Poodle. It's Saturday morning. The shop hasn't opened yet. I've just managed to grab a quick coffee and inspired by a few other people doing reviews of records and stuff that are coming into their shops. Thank you very much for the links that have been shared, and a lot of those are of new vinyl or new releases, maybe some audiophile stuff. I thought I'd just do a quick review today of what's new in the shop this week. Now, I have bought quite a bit of new stuff, new releases, but also quite a bit of used stock, and there's some really nice stuff in. So I thought I'd just quickly run through what's coming in the shop this week and just give you an indication of what happens here in Haverfordwest and Pembrokeshire music-wise. So 26 Market Street, Haverfordwest is where Core of the Poodle is, open Wednesdays to Saturdays, 10 till 4. So just to go through, I'm Malcolm, by the way, and here we go. So what's been in this week? Really nice copy of Porcupine, again, Echo and the Bunnymen. I put that down as near mint. This collection, a lot of stuff came in, was exactly like that. It was near mint, so really, really nice. So just put that together. Really good. So Echo and the Bunnymen, superb. 20 quid on that. Price wise, I tend to list everything on Discogs. It's my database of what's in the shop. So everything here in the shop is about 6,000 items of CDs and LPs in the shop. Everything goes on Discogs. That's my database. Then goes onto my website, and then obviously then is reflected in the shop. So I tend to obviously sell a lot online as well as in the shop. If you're in Haverfordwest, yes, it's great having the shop, but you need to sell quite a bit online to make the business viable. So that's what I do. And by viable, it means I can buy more stock and more records. So if you do come into the shop, there's a lot more than you would expect for a quiet corner of Pembrokeshire in terms of records. So something to think about. Anyway, Saturday morning is peeing down the rain today, so I think we'll be alright for a bit in terms of people coming to the shop today, but we'll see how it goes. Another sort of Echo and the Bunnymen single 12-inch. That's a Promise on single, very nice too. There's a few other Echo and Bunnymen singles. Shakin' Stevens, yes, I'll stock anything really in the shop. Shakin' Stevens included, especially when they're like this near mint. Absolutely brilliant copy. Always say that there's 3 good record shops in Haverfordwest. There's probably more than that. There's obviously Terminal Records, and Martin, he's been here 40 years. I've been here probably something like since December last year, so I'm trading online for a bit longer than that. And there's also the Oxfam, which has a great section of records here in town as well. So if you ever come into Haverfordwest and you're on holiday or you're visiting the area for any reason, it's quite an interesting place to come for looking for vinyl. So it's really, really good. Sorry, more coffee. Also in this morning's sort of run through, I catalogued most of these I think on Thursday night. So this is George Benson, nice copy of that as well, near mint. A few other obscure 80s stuff, Juice Newton, a very nice copy of Tracy Ullman. I can see you getting really excited about what's in the shop. Some nice Aztec camera. This always sort of goes well. People sort of got good fond memories. It's a lovely copy of this LP, vinyl wise. Alas, the big rip on the back hasn't helped it in terms of its saleability or collectability. So I put it up for 9 quid. Normally get something like 12, 15 quid for that sort of thing. Very nice too. And to reflect that, there's another Aztec camera LP there, which is actually in really nice condition. So, you know, quite impressed with that one. You see a lot of stuff like Jack Carpenter stuffs in charity shops. This is really nice copy, beautiful copy. A latest, a compilation reissue, got all the lovely stuff. And yeah, no reason you can't have that. The much maligned Matt Bianco. Yeah, check out YouTube for Matt Bianco on Saturday Morning Swap Shop. For those who are old enough to remember it, but Matt Bianco, if you really want that sort of stuff. I'll skip through some of the other sort of stuff. I do have, for some reason, the most expensive dollar record you'll ever see. It's like that. Firstly, I don't think this is the one that they sold many of, and this one again is in near mint. In fact, like a lot of this in this collection, I think there were sort of promos, copies of dollar. There's more dollar there. Look. Also on promo, later Alexa Corner album, Juvenile Delinquent, which is really quite nice. A guy called Randy Meissner, never heard of, German release, funnily enough. 12-inch single by the Bluebells, always good. I've even got some Barry Manilow, but I won't show you that, so I'll spare you that. That's quite nice. Bagatelle, that's an interesting, I think, where that came from. Again, promo copy, not for resale, something you don't see very much. Not expensive, $5, a lot of this stuff. Flash in the Pan, interesting. And this Vanity Six, I thought they were sort of like a 1980s Spice Girls in a way, with a bit of an edge. LA-based band. Seems to be. I've got 20 quid on it because I think that's the sort of thing it goes for. I think mainly released in Spain and Germany, so we'll see. Bow Wow Wow compilation. Yeah, great. Discovered in a laundrette in North London. Actually, the guy I worked for at the time, I think he owned the laundrette. He had a series of laundrettes up around Finchley and around there, and discovered there she was, I believe. Or that's where she's working when she was discovered. Probably not discovered amongst the sort of the dryers and the washing machines in a laundrette. Another nice single by the Bluebells, 12-inch. Style Council, lovely copy of that as well. What can you say about REO Speedwagon or REO Speed Foreigner? Yeah, sort of 80s later release. Yeah, £3 or £4, and you get probably a really lovely copy of an album that actually isn't very good. A more obscure Madness LP. I would say after they were famous, but I don't think there's any tracks on this that you recognise, but nice enough. Some nice stuff there's a nice copy of On Island Records by If, which are sort of prog rock band from sort of early 70s. I've got £50 on that, again because it's near mint, really nice copy. Other things, 1970s repress, really nice copy of, 1970 repress of Sgt. Pepper's. Always hard. A lot of people get excited about the value of their Beatles records. Two things to remember about Beatles records: they sold an awful lot of them, and also they were repressed and reissued loads and loads of times. I think there's over 1,000 versions on Discogs of Sgt. Pepper's. So when people come in and they've got a really nice copy, it's got to be a very specific copy to be worth lots of money. That said, nice plain copies still, because of the demand, they're still popular. That's £40. But they're going to reissue a newer reissue, or reissue or re-release of this will cost you the same sort of money. So something to bear in mind. Beatles' greatest hits. A band I've never come across before. Easy Street, sort of early 70s pop. Not very good. A fiver. It's all right. Well, I say not very good. It is for somebody, just not for me really. Green Slade, Spyglass Guest. Nice copy of that. A bit of Spooky Tooth. Nice album this, great cover, love the cover on it, on Island Records. As I say, I put £40 on that because it's a nice copy, lovely thing. Simon and Garfunkel. Highway, had to go looking for these guys, never heard of them. Again on Epic, I think, on EMI, 1974, their one and only release. Not sure what happened to them, not sure what's happening now, so interesting record. Stereo reissue of Rubber Soul, again no flip back sleeve, later sleeve. I think it's about 1970-71 reissue on silver Parlophone labels, not yellow ones. Nice copy though, lovely playing copy. Again, I've put some good money on that. The Revolver Beetles in here is a stereo, so PCS for stereo on the back, flip back sleeve. It's an early one, so I think it's the possibly first UK stereo press. That's what I've priced it at anyway. I could be proved wrong. I've been proved many a time wrong. I've been through the tax code labels, been through the spelling of Dr. Robert. I've been through everything on that, so I think that's UK first press. So £90. Stereo. A mono one goes for about £200. So, but nice things to have from a collection point of view. Really lovely copy of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I had a copy of that back in the day. Probably, I bought that second hand probably in the late 70s and played it to death. I really liked it. Don't like it now, but that's my personal thing. But a lovely album, of which sells nicely in the shop. Catch Bullet 4, Cat Stevens, nice copy of that. Again, Blue Island Dinner. If you're looking for early Island record stuff, a nice copy, you want the nice Blue Island Dinner with the address, and it's usually Basing Street, London, W11. There's a bit of a story about that. It's very important to when looking for Bob Marley records. But there we go. Another good rock prog label is on Harvest. Really good copy of that. That's third ear band Alchemy. Doesn't come up very often. I haven't seen that, but a lovely copy. A cheaper Harvest proggy rocky collectible. That one, 1969. So I think Harvest started 68. Really nice though. That really good, nice copy. A bit of George Harrison produced Radha Krishna Temple sitar music. Yeah, really nice that. Again, not my cup of tea, but nice copy. But again, on Apple Records, obviously, a lot of stuff came out that way. Yes, Moody Blues. Some really good samplers on Island, of the early Islands. This would be 68 sort of Island Records sampler. They go really cheap money compared to what the actual originals of things like Fairport Convention, Free and everything else go for. It's got quite a bit. It's got a bit of John Martin on it as well, Spencer Davis Group. Really nice copy. Again, 18 quid, and you get something which is in really great condition on the early Island sort of solid eye record label, and another one as well, nice enough to eat, lovely. Again, 12 quid. Not only to them, but you see samplers on things like Electra. There's a really good Electra sampler from the same period. Island did them, but also Harvest did one. Now that one is a really good one. That's a bit more collectible. It's got some Floyd on it. Roy Harper, Barclay James Harvest, Shirley and Dolly Collins as well. So good mix, and actually an individual self-released Sid Barrett, and the Third Ear Band again actually, as well as Quatermass. Well, the Quatermass on Harvest is quite collectible from that period, worth a few quid. Soft Machine, again, they were on CBS. Not lovely copy of this. Normally, this has had a label on it, a sticky label. One of those texture slabs. To note in the shop, I always use external plastic sleeves. I never put pricing stickers on the records. So as you can see, that is absolutely mint sleeve for that. Really, sometimes they've all been abrased, they're all a bit knackered. Best copy I've seen of that for ages. But Soft Machine stuff, as good as it is, doesn't go for strongish money. So 30 quid on that lovely copy of a great Canterbury Scene album. Found this, which I'll be playing in the shop today, on Saturday. Jazz funk, British jazz funk. It's been a bit of renewed interest, and I see there was an article in the Guardian, I think probably Giles Peterson or somebody had written it, talking about things like Freeze and the Southern Freeze, and you remember these sort of tracks from sort of, I think probably 70s, 80s. Absolutely brilliant, but I'll listen to that later. Volume 2, that one is, extended 12-inch remixes of things like that, and there is some stuff by Freeze on it. Freeze 1-to-1, Linda Taylor, Roy G and Energy. I'm going to have a listen to that later. That'll, given the rainy day and the crap outside, it's going to be good. Chicago, 1970 Chicago album on CBS. Yeah, okay. Vinegar Joe. Oh, I haven't priced that one. I need to price that one. Whoops. I'll have a look, see what that one is worth. The first press of Ooh La La by the Faces with a die-cut sleeve. It's got a very complicated layout die-cut. But I played that, sounds stunning. Really recommend listening to that. On Vertigo Swirl, Rod Stewart. It's got the large swirl, so amazingly left 70 quid, but just because of stuff being on swirl. Also, it's a great album, but some other stuff by the Faces. Janis Joplin, brilliant. Okay, so good, great album. Again, UK first press on CBS. Sounds stunning, so can recommend that. I did play a bit of Blobwin Pig. I'm still out to discuss what they're like. They're on Chrysalis, Island / Chrysalis. They were part of that sort of, I think Island sort of, well, interesting the way it was done. Yeah, a lot of stuff like Jethro Tull ended up in the same sort of home as Blobwin Pig. Played that, but interesting. And then right at the back here, what we got? Oh, Greatest Hit by the Cars. Always sell that when I get it. Doesn't stay in the shop very long. Nice compilation LP. So normally in the shop, all the new arrivals are here behind me, and we'll go through it. But thanks so much to have a quick watch, and I'll keep in touch with what else is coming on. It's still absolutely hammering down outside, so see what the day brings.